Hey everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is called Who's Totally Geeking Out Over You? And we're going to find out who wants to find out more about you, who's trying to learn more about you because they're interested, because they like you, because you're fun or cool, okay? And hopefully we're not going to be getting into anything about unwanted stalkers in this reading because nobody needs that in their life, but we're going to find out who legitimately is geeking out on you instead, okay? And for those of you that are curious, we will be having an 18 plus extended reading following this reading, and we have 3 piles to choose from today. We have pile number 1, which is the pineapple, pile number 2, which is the strawberry, and pile number 3, which is the eggplant. And so for those of you that are wanting to stick around till the end of the reading, we will be doing initials as well to help verify your reading. So if you see your initials come up, their initials, or words or phrases that I'm channeling as I'm putting together the letters, then you will know for sure that this reading is for you, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it and settle into the energy. Go ahead and ring the bell. I'm going to put the other piles aside and we are going to get started, okay? And of course you can watch more than one pile if you feel so inclined today. And but we're going to go ahead and start with pile number 1. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into it. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the pineapple, and today's reading is called Who's Totally Geeking Out Over You? We're going to find out who's interested to know more about you, who would like to find out and learn more about you because you interest them, because there's something about you that they find interesting, cool, or attractive, okay? We may find more than one person in your reading, pile number 1. And it could be a potential crush, it could be a friend, it could be anybody, okay? Pile number 1, it's straight up 1 o'clock right now in your pile on my clock as I just looked up at it. So that has to be a good sign for us today. Pile number 1, starting off on a strong note. And for those of you that would like to continue on, to the third power of all right. There's the King of Pentacles or Knight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I haven't even started your reading yet. For those of you that would like to hit the 18 plus extended reading, you can certainly do that as well. So we have the Devil and the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. That's a lot of earth energy. So there could be some earth signs that are studying you or looking, trying to figure out what's going on with you or looking at what's ahead, okay? And someone who is totally geeking out on you, pile number 1, I feel like because you may have someone in their life who has committed to a very difficult struggle or to a very difficult long path. And they're looking at how you have been able to find your way out of challenging situations and basically persevere in your life and continue to keep yourself high and dry, even though there are people that would have wanted to bring you down, okay? And I think like your determination, your steadfast energy, pile number 1, has people wondering like how you do it when circumstances in your life may have not always been super easy, okay? Sometimes it's easier to stay stuck than it is to kind of like dig your way out of a situation or pull your way through a situation, pile number 1. So, I mean, the ability to thrive and push forward in difficult circumstances is certainly something that people wonder about when it comes to you. And also the word I'm getting is, how did you find your way around that situation? Or how did you find your way through that, okay? And for some of you, I'm getting somebody at work that is totally geeking out over you because there's a lot of people who, especially when it comes to their work, get very like downtrodden and tired and stuck and and hate what they're doing. And I feel like you guys always manage to find something about what you're doing that you like and take ownership of it and follow it through, okay? So that's very interesting energy. And yeah, someone's totally geeking out after you, and it could be the devil's Capricorn. So we could have a Capricorn, and then we have Knight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, which is Taurus energy. So we could have some earth sign energy already popping up here. Yep, and look what's right behind that Knight of Pentacles is the Three of Pentacles, which talks about, you know, being very determined to build something that lasts, okay? And this person that's geeking out over you could also be this type of person too, and is looking for somebody like them, okay? And look at this, in the past, okay, this person has dealt with a lot of flaky people, or they've dealt with people that have just made their life harder with the Three of Swords and the Tower, okay? And this person now focusing on, you know, the building blocks to success and making every day count, okay? And if you are similar to that, pile number one, if you have that same type of energy within you, then, you know, there's something you and this person can learn from each other, I feel like, okay? So let's go ahead and find out more information about who is geeking out over pile number one. We have the Three of Wands, okay? We have the Moon, all right? Someone who knows how to find their direction, even in challenging circumstances, and the Ten of Swords, okay? And I feel pile number one that this is a person who has recently been through, has been through a major trauma, or has been through a massive ending or a massive separation from something that they really wanted. And they've had to pick themselves up and make the best out of it and keep moving forward in their life, okay? And I do feel like, you know, some of you have already, from a young age with this Page of Pentacles, pile number one, a lot of you could have been on your own. Your parents could have been too busy, or maybe they just weren't, they were toxic, or they weren't helpful to you in some way, or they just were, otherwise their attention was ate up by other things, okay? So I feel like even from a young age, you guys were very resourceful or very responsible, okay? And was able to take, you know, and also I feel like you guys have some really good ideas about things that other people can't see. You know, with the devil, it's all about ignorance. You know, ignorance is bliss for a lot of people, but you know, I feel like there are people that like to live their life in ignorance, and then there's people who like to, you know, take what they can from a situation and build on it and keep growing and pushing forward. And I feel like this person is also having a similar journey. They have been through a very rotten time in their life with the Moon and the Ten of Swords, where they felt very lost emotionally, where they felt very like, you know, like their world was in shambles, okay? And just feeling very uneasy about the future, okay? And I feel like this person looks to you for inspiration, for strength, and they like how you are just very steadfast and stable. I feel like pile number one, okay? And how you don't ever give up. That's the other thing. I feel like you guys, if there's something that you want, you don't give up, okay? And I do think that this person could have been recently very overwhelmed, like I said, with something happening in their life, okay? And they're totally geeking out over your ability to shine through challenging circumstances. And I feel like they're also drawing on your strength, pile number one, okay? And we're, you know, that may be a good thing or a bad thing, because I feel like in the past, people have definitely tried to draw on your strength before. And, you know, people do that at times. Will try to like suck the life out of other people or draw on their strength in times of need, okay? But I feel like no matter what, pile number one, you can take a licking and keep on ticking, okay? We have the Wheel. Yeah, this person very inspired by your life journey and your life path, and yeah, and just how you just kind of go with your destiny and you just put faith in what you're doing. And it's one step at a time. It's one day at a time. Okay. And this person, okay, we have the Knight of Swords and the Moon here. Okay. And then we have the Nine of Wands. Okay. Talking about establishing like a sense of center or gravity during a time of challenging situations, okay? And this person sometimes feeling dominated or controlled by certain people in their life, by certain situations in their life. And I also think this person geeking out because of your ability to make good decisions, okay? Because the Moon and the Knight of Swords can make someone very emotionally impulsive and maybe even a little bit dangerous at times too, with the way that they act, the things that they do, okay? And even though you haven't come from the easiest place, pile number one, you have the ability to offer that type of environment that's, I feel, very refreshing for this person to be in. Because I feel like with this Moon and Knight of Swords, the word I'm getting is power struggles, okay? And somebody who is like changing their mind a lot and wasn't really sure of what direction they wanted to take until they met you, until they saw you and kind of how you were doing it. We have here faith, yeah. Because the Ten of Swords, it's like the Moon is where we've really like lost faith. And I think you have brought back this person's sense of determination, sense of fire, sense of willingness to stand up for what it is they want and to not be controlled by things, not to be controlled by their mind, like thinking the worst, okay? I also feel like somebody here with the Moon and the Knight of Swords is pretty kinky and really likes to get physical with the Ten of Swords and the Nine of Wands, like really likes to push themselves physically and from a kinky perspective, maybe sometimes beyond their limitations or even just from a physical perspective, okay? And I think you have brought this person like a sense of like, oh my God, there's actually people out there in the world who are different like me, okay? Or who haven't had come from the easiest background, okay? And I do think like this person could have had a history of physical violence, pile number one, growing up in their family. They could have had a pattern of emotional violence, physical violence, sexual violence. I'm seeing that with the Knight of Swords and the Moon, okay? And this person like really seeing like things haven't always been easy for you either, pile number one, but I mean, this person being very inspired by your willingness to keep the faith and to keep going. We have here anxiety. Yeah, talking about how to get a hold of someone's anxiety. And with the Knight of Swords and the Moon and the Ten of Swords, that can definitely be a big energy of anxiety. And the Nine of Wands, really holding it down and holding the fort down and holding things down when there is like a lot of anxiety and turmoil, okay? Having faith during times of, you know, unstable conditions and with the Knight of Swords, like conditions where people are maybe not the most mentally stable, okay? So I do think this person geeking out on like how you've been able to roll with the punches in your life and keep the faith in things and keep moving forward, even if you are faced with challenges, even if things are hard, pile number one, okay? And we have here, create something new, okay? And some of you guys have taken like the experiences that you've went through and you have taken them and used them for fuel to basically create something in your life. And I feel like this Page of Pentacles is really like serious about what he or she is creating, okay? And drawing on that really like focused, grounded perspective and actually bringing things into fruition instead of just kind of like talking about it or thinking about it, okay? I also feel like this person could have felt like creatively blocked with the Ten of Swords and the Nine of Wands, or could have felt like anxiety about putting themselves out there in the world, and felt, and I feel like meeting you has made this person kind of like come back to life again with the Three of Wands, okay? The Three of Wands in the tarot is the Sun in Aries, and it is the Lord of established strength. So like this person working to bring themselves to a new place in their life where they can actually see future possibilities for themselves, okay? And I feel like some of you have like multiple, I don't want to say multiple personalities, pile number one, but I feel like some of you with this Wheel and Faith here, like you guys have multiple ways of looking at things, and you have multiple ways of responding to situations, and you don't just get stuck responding to things in one particular way. And I feel like this person thinks that that's really cool, okay? And they're geeking out. Some of you may be artists, or you may do some creative projects. You may take like situations that have been very challenging for you with the Nine of Wands and Ten of Swords, and use those situations as creative fodder to create something like really cool or really interesting. And like some of you may do things with your hands as well. Like you may do some type of hobby or some type of thing where you use your hands a lot, or you get your physicality involved in what you're doing. And I'm also getting an energy of like woodworking, or someone who's into woodworking, or someone who's really into like nature or hobbies in nature. Somebody here could really have a green thumb, or be like an amazing gardener, or just take something that is like dead and lifeless and going nowhere with the devil and turn it into something really thriving and pretty with the Page of Pentacles, okay? So, I mean, it's like, whoa. And some of you could have had like a house that you moved into, or a space that you moved into that was like really ugly, or or lacking, in something, and you just made it into something like really nice, okay? And I think, as far as, because with the Moon and the Knight of Swords, we can talk about somebody that has a lot to say but is a little bit shy, with the Moon, and it has some anxiety about putting things out there. And I feel like, I also feel you guys, okay, and so you've helped this person to see the different sides of themselves and to understand that they're just not one thing. You know what I'm saying, pile number one? And to see a different way with this Wheel of Fortune and Faith card, okay? And yeah, I also feel with this Knight of Swords is pretty kinky looking. So somebody here could be, like with the Moon, somebody could be into the dark arts, or be into like BDSM and different things like that, and has anxiety about sharing that with someone new, or has anxiety about talking about that, or talking about like their desires and, fulfilling their desires from a sexual perspective. And I do think like you've empowered this person to be more forward about that, pile number one, or to be more open and not expect that they're just going to be shut down right away. And yeah, so let's go ahead and see what else here. We have the Moon and feelings. Okay, so you've helped this person to see themselves in a stronger position, and to help them see that the changes in life. I feel like you've also helped to love themselves more, and I feel like this person's geeking out on you because you're like, you have multiple strengths. Like some of you are, I see somebody here who could be like in the beauty, somebody who's like in the beauty industry, or someone who has something to do with that, somebody who's also reads a lot or studies a lot or is an intellectual. And then someone else here who's like very organized and likes to like get things done and keep things moving. And yeah, it's very, this person is like, wow, pile number one, finally, you know? And I think we have the moon here twice with the moon card, and then we have this moon card here, okay? And like this person feeling that you help like soothe their emotions, that you help like mother them in some type of way, that you help them digest their experiences, that your instincts about things are generally right. And some of you are very good at helping people to kind of point them in the right direction to achieve more happiness in their future, pile number one. And this person like geeking out on like your habits and the things that you do every day to take care of yourself is also what I am seeing here too. Okay, and the moon also has to do like with family and things like that too as well, pile number one. So we have here the 10th house and reputation, okay? So this person is heavily thinking about their future, their responsibilities, their achievements, their careers, their standing in the world, their purpose in the world, you know, what they would like to build. And they're seeing you with this Page of Pentacles as somebody who is like very encouraging and somebody who is a power player. And most people will go, oh, it's a page, it doesn't, you know, have that much power. But actually that's like, you know, that's not true at all, because the pages are the thrones for the aces. And the pages also represent earth energy, which is all about grounding things into reality. So like the Page of Cups is water of earth. The Page of Fire, or the Page of Wands, is fire of earth. The Page of Pentacles is earth of earth. So it is very much a manifestation and a consistency and a strength that shines through, okay? And I feel like some of you guys helped this person to like see their way out of a dark phase, or to see themselves into creating something new, okay? And some of you here, you may have a little bit of shyness within yourself too, or anxiety about bringing your ideas forward with the Knight of Swords. And but yet you do it anyway, you know, you do it anyway with this 10th house of career and reputation and all of that, okay? And I feel like this person's totally geeking out on you, because even if you're not having a good day, or even if you're not having the best day, you still manage to like show up and create something cool. We have Nightingale here, okay? So some of you may be very good at singing as well, or you may have very beautiful voices, okay? And we have create something new. And then you can see the blue color here, which reminds me of the throat chakra, okay? So this person wanting to get to know you and understand you more, and understand, like some of you may use your feelings and your emotions to kind of create the things that you're working on to produce tangible results. And this person finding that like very intriguing, okay? And like wanting to hear you talk about something, okay, with the Nightingale, like wanting to hear you speak, wanting to hear you talk about something, or talk about like your process and how you work through things is another thing that I'm feeling here, pile number one, okay? So somebody really interested to like hear your voice, thinking that you have a very beautiful voice as well, and is geeking out on all of these, like, you know, they look like little things, you know, but at the end of the day, they add up to somebody who is very interested to know more about you. We have here commitment. Wow. Okay. And this person really geeking out about what it is that you're committed to and how you see commitment, and like what your thoughts are about commitment and what your feelings. We have moon in the 10th house here. So this could also be like somebody geeking out over like family, or, you know, family versus career, right? And how a person can handle that, and how a person can get all those different things done, you know, and still kind of like you know, have time for themselves or still be like very organized with what they're doing, okay? So this person wanting to know more about like how you've managed to do it on your own, you know, for a lot of years, or how you've managed to kind of carry the weight of certain things. And this person just wanting to understand, like, you know, I also feel them wanting to understand, like, you emotionally when it comes to making commitments to things and how that is for you or how you feel about that, pile number one, okay? And we have the 8th house here of endings and beginnings, okay? And the 8th house is in traditional astrology, traditional classic astrology, is also the house of your partner's money. Okay, so some of you here might have been with people in the past that were pretty bad with money or weren't very good with taking care of themselves financially, or maybe you weren't in the past, pile number one, but I feel like you're turning that around now and you're real focused on and committed to the things that you want. And like a phase of your life has now passed and you're moving into this more like mature, grounded, committed phase, I feel. And this person wondering, some people very much like geeking out on you, pile number one, because wondering like how you got out of debt or how you got out of a bad financial cycle or how you started to like feel better about yourself and like, you know, how you managed to bring an end here with this 8th house and the devil, how you've managed to like bring an end to the things that you struggled with or your ability to work through things and stay committed even in the face of, you know, great difficulties, okay? And I also feel like some of you could have, like the devil is a very, the sensory experience associated with the devil in the tarot is mirth. So it's like laughing, you know, like laughing at yourself, laughing at life, you know, and the 8th house is also where we can have like a lot of, you know, situations that are very challenging or tough, or like, you know, that situation was a real bitch to get through. But at the end of the day, like it made me stronger. And also, I feel some of you have a very funny sense of humor. Or just the way you look at life is very interesting and engaging and funny and practical too. Some of you may have like a sarcastic sense of humor, or you may have a funny way of looking at things, but at the end of the day, it gets you results, okay? And, you know, when people are going through difficult and challenging times, I feel like you're a person that can help people stay focused and committed to what they're doing, but also can like laugh at the absurdity of life with them, okay? So this is very interesting, pile number one. And this person, do you know who this is, pile number one? Maybe I'm describing more than one person in your life to you, and or just what people generally geek out over you about, okay? But let's go ahead here and find out. Someone has a funny sense of humor, okay? And maybe in the past, pile number one, it was really hard for you to let go of things, okay? But I also feel some of you could have struggled with anxiety as well here too, because the 8th house is also a house of anxiety. Then we have anxiety here, okay? But I feel like, you know, you guys still manage to find a way to stay focused and present with what you're doing. And I also am just still with that 8th house energy. I'm still getting like, you know, somebody's like naughty secrets, or somebody's naughty kinky secrets, or somebody's naughty, you know, escapades, pile number one. Okay, so this person may want to geek out with you over these things, or may want to learn more about that, you know, more about your like sexual journey in life. But let's go ahead for my pile number ones. Let's get some initials here, and then we'll take it to the extended reading, which will be 18 plus, okay? We have the letter M, okay? An X, wow. Okay, so an X that you've been through a lot of stuff with, pile number one. learning a lot from you, and probably, I feel like there is somebody here who's, you know, getting softer towards you or starting to understand more of you or where you're coming from. And you may not be with this person anymore, pile number one, but I do feel like you taught this person a lot, okay? We have a D, MD, okay? That could be a medical doctor or somebody who works with the, like, you know, somebody who's in a medical profession, someone who's in a medical profession. We also have DM, which to me is like direct message. So someone is sending you like direct messages, asking you about work, or messaging you on Instagram or wherever. Somebody's up in your DMs asking you different questions, maybe some naughty ones here too with the 8th house, but also just asking you questions about your creative projects or your work or something too. This person's geeking out on you. We have a K, okay? Kingdom, KDM, kingdom. Yeah, asking about, you know, like your kingdom, pile number one. We have an L, LK, liked M. Someone liked M, or someone liked something that you posted or something that you wrote. And it could have been kind of dark with the devil in the 8th house. It could have been a little bit dark, pile number one, which, you know, but it made this person think that you're like really fun or interesting. And I feel you could have cheered them up on a day that they weren't having like the best day. Okay. Let's see. I also feel like we could have licked here. Licked, like licked or like somebody licking or liking. But anyway, pile number one, let's go ahead and get some more initials for you. Okay, we have an H here. I feel like we haven't seen an H for a while. Okay, MH, CM, okay. If we had an E, we'd have EDC, or like electric dance music. So maybe someone here is into that. MC, somebody could be really good at like MCing things, you know, like at parties or something here with this nightingale, like really good at speaking or singing or MCing different things. And yeah, I'm feeling like head cases here too, like with the moon and the 10 of swords, somebody feeling like a real head case, but coming out looking aces, okay, or looking good or working through things. We have a Z here, okay, a Z. CDC, right? What does the CDC recommend? We have CDC and medical doctor here. Somebody here could be have anxiety with this Knight of Swords and the moon and be like a hypochondriac, okay? We have HC. Somebody could be like a hypochondriac here too, okay? Like worrying that they're sick or ill all the time. If we had an I, we would have DICK, all right? So somebody's totally geeking out over the DICK. Anyway, pile number one. Let's see what else here. We have a W, okay? We have a W. I worked with a kid once with the name KW, and he reminded me so much of this Page of Pentacles. He was a Leo, I think, but he must have had like a ton of Saturn or Earth in his chart, because anyway, I digress. DC, we could have Washington, DC. I also feel like we have the name Liz here. We're missing the I, but Liz or Lizzie or Elizabeth or something like that, okay? And a P. If we had a T, we'd have THC, but we have PCP here nonetheless. You know, the moon and the 10 of swords will definitely make you feel like you're on some PCP. Anyway, HDML, okay, is here too, which is a computer thing. We have a J here. DC could also be DC Comics. Somebody could be really into those or really into drawing or learning different things about that. We have a J here. JDC, Juvenile Detention Center. Somebody here could have gotten in trouble as a kid with the devil and the Page of Pentacles, but became like in a, you know, a reformed bad boy or bad girl, okay? Let's see what else here. Let's see what else here. Okay, L-I-C-K-D-I-C-K. Anyway, if you know what that means, pile number one, you can just keep it to yourself. And anyway, let's see. Okay, the name Michael is here too. But also I feel like Michaela or Michael could be here. Like the spelling for that could be here. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. Okay, 3 more and that's it. We have the letter A. Okay, A. Dad, D-A-D. Okay, so you guys, you know, a mad dad is showing up here. Somebody that was a mad father or a mad dad, or somebody that would get mad a lot. I also feel like the name Jack is here. We could have Jack or Jackie as names. I also feel like M-A is like Ma or Ma, if somebody would call like, you know, a parent or a grandparent Ma, or Mama is here. Dad is here. Okay. Pa is also here too. All right. We have an I. AI, artificial intelligence, right? Yeah, but you know, there's the L-I-C-K and the D-I-C-K that I was talking about earlier. I'm also saying H-I-C, which is like hiccup. Okay, so somebody here, we're just missing the U, but somebody here could have just had the hiccups a lot. Callie is also here too. Callie. Also DJ Khaled. Khaled is here. Do you guys listen to that DJ Khaled? He's like a R&B hip hop DJ, but I am seeing that. Callie, like somebody from California or from Cali, or it could be a name like Callie. And one more here is an O. Cop is here. I can see that right away. So somebody here could have a, you know, like a police officer in their family or somebody like that. We're just missing the E, but I also can see police and cop here. Or somebody could have gotten in trouble, like I said, when they were younger, but cleaned up their act, okay? And yeah. AOL, which is an old internet, AOL and dial-up. The funniest things I see. We also have Oz, O-Z, like Oz, Ozzy or Oz, okay? And that, and I also see Zach here is here too. I feel like the name Danica could be here too, or Dan or Daniel or Danica. All right, so that's a lot of letters, pile number one. I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. There's so much else that we could probably do there, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. And for those of you that would like to join me on the 18+ extended reading, you can certainly follow me to my Vimeo channel, and there'll be a link to that below. Thank you so much, pile number one. I'd love to hear your comments and feedback and how that reading resonated for you. I read all the comments and I respond to many of them. So thank you so much, pile number one, and take care. Let's move on to pile number two. Okay, let's do it. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the strawberry, and today's reading is called Who is Totally Geeking Out on You? Stick around till the end of the reading, pile number two, because we will be getting initials to verify your reading. And also for those of you that would like to hit up the 18+ extended reading, there'll be a link to my Vimeo channel below. And when we talk about who is totally geeking out over you, this could be a friend, a lover, a crush, you know, whoever, but this is somebody who is interested in what you're doing, likes what you're doing and thinks that it's really cool and fun that you're doing it, okay? Pile number 2, ooh, there's the 9 of Pentacles. All right, look at pile number 2, already coming out strong there, holding it down, talking about the sacrifices that you've had to make to build yourself up to who you are today, to build up your confidence, to build up your, especially with the Tower here. After having been through some like very shocking experiences or experiences that have been very, very challenging, okay? And interesting, pile number 2. So let's go ahead and see. I feel like also too, like no matter what's going on around you, pile number 2, like no matter if you got no sleep, no matter if you were literally up tossing and turning all night long, no matter if you just came home from the gym and you were at kickboxing class or you were, sweating like crazily, profusely, no matter if you just, well, no matter what happened, I feel like you guys always look good with the 9 of Pentacles, or you manage to always look classy or look well put together or look like $1,000,000, even if you just, if you feel like you look like a drowned rat and you just got home from the gym or you just went to the grocery store and you looked like, you're like, God, I look like absolute crap. Okay. I feel like nobody else thinks that though, pile number 2. I feel like, some of you here with the Tower and the 9 of Pentacles, maybe like your worst critic, or be really hard on yourselves at times, pile number 2, or kind of like beat yourselves up. And that's why I think it's been so important to raise your strength and raise your self-confidence, okay? But I also feel like people really geek out on you because no matter what's going on in your life, I feel like you guys show up and you always like dress well, you smell good, you look good. Like some people, they could wear like, a trash bag and they would still make it look good. They would still make it look like they're watching or they're walking, they're runway models for like, a Paris Vogue show, even if they're tired as hell and they've been traveling all day and they've got red eyes and they're having to leave and go and come and go and there hasn't been a lot of sleep. I feel like you guys always pull it off. You always look good, okay? And you're like, no, I don't, Natalie. And I'm like, yes, you do. And everyone around you can see it, okay? And, like some of you may look really good in like a messy bun, or like even if you're not wearing the most makeup, or even if you're just like lounging around and you still look good, you still look fierce, pile number 2, okay? And I do think you guys have like a distinct style about yourself, okay? And you guys are like, wah, with the 4 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. I don't want to hear any compliments about myself today, Natalie. I had a bad day and I don't feel good and my tummy hurts. But no one would really notice that, pile number 2, because I feel like, you guys always come across as like passionate, energetic, and well put together. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about rising from the ashes like the phoenix here, pile number 2. Let's go ahead and find out who's totally geeking out over you, okay? Okay, I was just with the Wheel of Fortune, I was mentioning about traveling, going different places, trying different things, okay? And I do feel like there's somebody that has like a pretty chaotic life at times, or is getting shuffled around a lot, or is having to like move a lot or travel to a bunch of different places. And I do feel like, you manage to like hold everything together. I feel like pile number 2, even if the world around you is like constantly changing, I feel like you guys really know how to hold it down, okay? Some of you may be very good at like decorating or making a place look really nice too, or making a place feel like home, okay? And even if you're not home all the time, even if some of you are like traveling or having to move a lot, okay? We have the Seven of Pentacles here, and we have the King of Swords. Okay, so, you know, you guys are very hardworking, pile number 2, and I think, you know, even if you do like to live an exciting life with the Tower, or you like to be free to do what you want with the Wheel of Fortune, some of you here, it's like, even if you do find yourself in trouble, you can find your way out of it. You can work your way out of it. You can plan for it with the Nine of Pentacles. And, you know, I feel like you're a person that doesn't, with the Tower, is pretty impulsive, but I also feel like you guys have a stability about you with the Nine of Pentacles. So when you have like a combination of somebody who's really fun and impulsive with the Tower and doesn't mind like doing different things and trying different things, with a person who's also very like hardworking and disciplined about their goals, what you get is somebody who has like a lot of freedom, who can, you know, like pursue the path that they feel like pursuing, and somebody who can travel a lot, somebody who can make whatever decisions they want and like bounce back from it, okay? Somebody who has like a very calm, steady demeanor, but also likes to have fun and get crazy sometimes, which I feel like is you guys, okay? Like you're both mature, you're mature, pile number 2, but you're also like, you know, you like to get down, all right? And I feel like this person's totally geeking out on you because it seems like you found like the perfect combination or the perfect balance to make yourself happy, or to make yourself, even though I don't feel like sometimes you guys feel that way. I feel like sometimes you guys don't feel like you're the most happy, or, you know, like you're constantly trying to build your life back up, but things keep happening, okay? However, I do think there are people that have lives that are much more boring than yours, and where they have much less freedom than you have, and where they really, really lack imagination to see like all the places they could go or all the things they could do, okay? And I do feel like with this King of Swords and Seven of Pentacles, there is somebody who wants a taste of the strawberry, okay, pile number 2, or they want, you know, they want to be around somebody that like inspires them, and somebody that gets them out of their daily routine, and somebody that like really shake things up, like somebody that looks hot and is together and looks sexy, even if they are just wearing like a messy bun and yoga pants and, you know, one of those like sweatshirt things or whatever, you know, like light sweatshirt. It's not even sweatshirt, it's like a light material top that you could wear over yoga pants or something. Even if you're wearing that, you know, I feel like you guys just give off this energy of, you know, like quiet confidence, okay, with the Nine of Pentacles and the Tower. But I also feel like you guys have had to build yourselves to get to where you are, and sometimes it hasn't been the easiest for you because the ground around you is always shifting, you know? With the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower, like the ground around you is constantly shifting, and you're working to stabilize that energy. But I also just feel like a lot of you have natural good looks and natural talents that make you stand out, even if you feel frazzled. Do you know what I'm saying, pile number 2? So I feel like there is somebody here who sees these wonderful qualities about you and is wondering why they can't be more like that themselves, you know, and why they just can't like get past some of their mental blocks or some of their emotional blocks. And they see the way that you live and like what an interesting, you know, exciting person you are. I also feel like this person is geeking out on you because some of you could look like sexy librarians, or you could look like, you know, well put together, you know, nice girls or nice boys with the Nine of Pentacles, but underneath that is, you know, like a naughty cat, like a naughty kitten, or a naughty, you know, with the Tower here. Underneath there is like, you know, a very passionate, warm-blooded, you know, like person that really just needs to get all of their sexual urges out and have them all discovered and, you know, spun around and all of these types of things, you know. And I think this person is very curious about what's underneath that cultivated surface that you guys have and hold so well. Okay. And I do feel like with the Wheel of Fortune here, this person is like very curious as to what could happen here. And they're wanting to know how they can appeal to you, or how they can expand the conversation or expand the physicality between you two, okay? But I feel like there's been some frustration here, you know, where, you know, I feel sometimes pile number 2, there may be a part of you that can get very mad at times or angry at times if people are not upholding, if they're not really pursuing, if they're not really upholding their end of the bargain, if they're not really like, you know, taking the bull by the horns, you know. It's like, hey, you know, I'm not over here just, you know, doing this for nothing. Like, you know, I am trying to make something in my life happen romantically, is what I feel like for you guys, okay? And I feel like sometimes maybe it's like you guys are in a wind tunnel and you can't discern or see what's coming, or you're not sure what other people are up to. Because from your viewpoint, it looks like they're just, you know, spinning their wheels, and they're just, you know, like hanging back too much or overthinking things, when I feel like you guys are like tigers that need to be released into the wild to experience, you know, the full passion within you. And to, yeah, now I feel like I'm seeing a smile on your face, pile number 2. And, you know, and with the King of Swords, I do feel like this person's trying to learn a lot about you. If there is any card in the tarot that could totally geek out on something, it would be the King of Swords. The King of Swords wants to know everything about what they're studying, and wants to like understand the ins and outs of what they're looking at and what's in front of them, okay? So I do think this person is geeking out, okay? But they may have like, I think they're geeking out on you and trying to understand you and put all the pieces of the puzzle together. You may be confusing this person a little bit. They may feel like they're getting some mixed signals from you, or they're not sure exactly what you want or where you're at in life with this Wheel of Fortune. But I do think that they want to see where something could go, okay? And, you know, with the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like they're saying that they're trying to totally geek out on you, or trying to, but they feel a little bit weird or awkward with the Knight of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. Because like I said, the King of Swords, I don't know why I kept saying Knight, the King of Swords knows how to study something and learn it inside and out and never forget it, and center him or herself in that knowledge and work with it, you know. But some of you here, even though you have this, you know, like very appealing, you know, classical side to you, I do think there is some, you know, unruly like unrest within you with the Tower, pile number 2. And there is like this, you know, you have this facade, I feel, on the outside, but underneath it is like this swirling energy of, you know, chaos and passion that's ready to erupt, okay? So this person's trying to figure out how to kind of get to that and how to kind of work with that. But I also feel like this person is wondering if they made you mad, or if they did something to like piss you off, okay? And I kind of feel what their energy is with the King of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and Wheel, is that they need to study you more, okay? Like, you're interesting, or you have different ways of going about things, and their whole vibe is, I think I'm gonna have to like study this more, you know, type of thing, or I think I'm gonna have to like learn more about pile number 2, okay? And because the energy, the Wheel of Fortune is ruled by Jupiter, or is associated with Jupiter, so it's all about circulating energy, right? And it is a card of movement. So it's asking here, let's take a look at the energy that's circulating between us and see what can happen. So there's the King of Pentacles, there's death, okay? If people take too long, or if people are lackluster in the way that they're pursuing you and they're not, like, you know, you guys are coming through as the Nine of Pentacles. So when it comes to how you want someone to pursue you, it's like, you know, don't stand there forever and geek out on me too much. Like, actually make a move in physical reality and get me to, you know, loosen up and uncover the wild beast within, you know? And like the Nine of Pentacles is like very physical and touchy, feely, and hands-on, you know what I mean? And it's like, let's keep things moving forward in a very hands-on, handsy type of a way, okay? But this person's over here in analysis paralysis, and I think some of you here with the Death card are kind of annoyed, okay? And some of you may have, because the Tower in the Tarot is Mars, and you know, the ancient ruler of Scorpio is Mars, and we have the Death card here associated with Scorpio. So some of you could have a little bit of a temper underneath that gorgeous exterior, okay? And it's like, I didn't work this hard to get this far to have people like act this way. So some of you may have a little bit of impatience in you at times, or you may have some scorpionic energy in you, or some heavy Mars energy in your chart. Some of you may have like a Mars in Scorpio or something like that, like something that makes you very like, you know, like step up to the plate or step off, you know, is what I see when I see the Nine of Pentacles in the Tower. Step up to the plate or step off, okay? And you can see like there's the little hourglass that's next to her feet here when we see the goddess of death holding the scythe, and she's got all of her notches on her belt, okay? And it's like she's saying, regardless of how much I like a situation, if it's not moving anywhere, then I'll cut it off, you know? And so this person not really wanting to, you know, anger you in any way or not wanting to upset you anyway, but I do feel like this person has a little bit more of a mental approach to things, like a feeling things out, maybe a more cautious mental approach to things. I think mentally they are excited by you and turned on by you, and they like what they're seeing with the King of Swords here. But I think when it comes to leading the physical connection, this person's a little like maybe not sure of what to do or what to expect, or like, because the Wheel of Fortune is giving a question mark, like if I touch you, then what will happen, you know, type of thing. We have the Sun card. Yeah, so this King of Swords is like, gimme, 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 I wanty, 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 pile number 2. And they can see a vision of you two being happy, okay? Or they could see how you two would be like a good couple, or how you two would be like very strong, you know, in bed together, or how you two would be very like, you know, how you two are similar and how like, you know, it could work, right? And I feel like this King of Swords is, you know, like I envision something really special and nice happening between us, and they really want to increase like the warmth of how things, like, you know, feeling warm and engaging and bonded and close to someone. But I feel like they're discouraged or disappointed because they're not really able to kind of figure out what to do, okay? And they're wanting to have a bond like that, but I feel like they're they're overthinking it, or they're, you know, and it doesn't have to be that hard, you know? But a word that I was getting a minute ago that went in my head and out of my head, pile number 2, was cold, you know? So there could be some like coldness or things like that, especially when it comes to initiating like physical contact, or, you know, once, you know, like what actually works physically, you know, like what makes you feel good, what makes you explode with desire, pile number 2, okay? And this person with the sun really wanting to get enlightened about what it takes to make you feel good, or what it takes to make you, like, turn you on, okay? The thing is, pile number 2, is I feel like some of you are getting annoyed with this person's approach, or maybe the way they're handling things. Like, it's too soft, or it's too cold, or it's, it needs to be more, like, dynamic, I feel, okay? We have energy here. Yeah, dynamic energy, circulation, motion, like actually approaching. And we have death on top of death. Okay, so if this person knows if they can continue with the same strategy that they've been employing with you, that it will lead to the death of this connection, or they sense that something they've said or done is making you unhappy, or maybe making you second guess this person or this connection. I do feel like with the King of Pentacles energy and the Wheel of Fortune, at the beginning, there was a lot of promise, or there still may be this promise of what could happen kind of hanging in the air, pile number 2. Okay, it's not like you made this up out of nowhere. There actually is a energy going on between you and this person that was much more to your liking, or had the potential to be much more to your liking, okay? But I'm kind of getting that this person might be a little bit, afraid of your temper, or afraid of displeasing you, or knowing that they feel like they're failing at something, okay? And maybe they are, pile number 2. Maybe they really legitimately are failing at something. Maybe they really, you'd have to be really mad, I think, if you like someone, to get to the point of just wanting to cut things off, wanting to kill the light switch, wanting to kill the energy, okay? And I do feel like this person's like, well, I thought it was so nice with the Sun and the King of Swords. Like, what turned out the light here, or what caused the energy to die out, okay? And you guys are probably like, well, if this person can't see that, then they're even more dumb than I thought. No, I'm just kidding, pile number 2. But some of you have maybe a little bit of an attitude towards people like that because you've dealt with it before and you just don't have time for it anymore, and I get it. We have pamper yourself here, okay? So this person, trying to think of ways that they could, like, do things to, like, buy you things or get you things, or maybe have you have like a spa day, or suggest, a shopping trip, okay? Or suggest, something nice for you to do for yourself. Some of you may have been very stressed out with the 9 of Pentacles and the Tower. Work could have been very stressful. Sometimes life feels like we're hanging by a string from it, and we're doing everything we can every day just to stay on top of things, okay? So, this person trying to, like, think of practical things like, oh, I could get pile number 2 a facial. I could get pile number 2 a massage. I could get pile number 2 also, I feel like this person wanting to very much geeking out over, like, what you do to relax, or what do you do to kind of, like, pamper yourself, to kind of feel better, okay? And some of you may, with this 9 of Pentacles, may be like, well, I've got to work, I've got these things to do, like, that's just excess. Like, what I really need is a physical release with the Tower, okay? And maybe to dance on some people's graves here with the Death card coming up twice. And this person has a shovel, like they've just been digging a grave, hopefully they haven't been digging their own grave, pile number 2. But, I also feel like this person's like, hey, if you're mad at anyone or you need my help with something, I'll help you dig that for you, okay? It's like they were digging, but they stopped digging because they thought they did enough work. And it's like, no, you didn't do enough work yet. So anyway, we have Gemini energy. Yeah, that's coming out under this Wheel of Fortune. So, that has to do with the energy, like, switching up between you two, okay? And things being kind of shaky with the Tower, all right? Like, the energy is very dynamic, and it's very, like, it will like singe you, you know, but it's also like very unpredictable, probably pile number 2, with people like changing their minds or getting frustrated with one another. Of course, that can create a lot of sexual tension with death twice and energy and all of that, you know, and it kind of keeps the hormones swirling in the air. But you know, how much thinking can a one person really do? You know what I mean? And interestingly, the King of Swords in the tarot is Gemini, represents Gemini. So maybe someone here does have Gemini. Also, I'm picking up that Virgo energy with the 9 of Pentacles too, which is representative of Venus and Virgo. So some of you may have that in your chart, or you may have Virgo or Gemini, but this is like a lot of back and forth, okay? And Gemini energy is also very curious. So I think this person is curious about the energy here between you two and like what's going on with it. I do think this person is trying to be like socially aware and perceptive to what it is that you need. I do think they're trying to like be more vocal and try to be more like street smart and practical, rather than just up in their head like, I don't know what to do, okay? Take a more hands-on approach, right? With the King of Pentacles, and actually push that wheel forward and take real action, right? Yeah, but I also feel like this person, some of you may be giving off Gemini energy yourself, or mutable energy, which the mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, and Sagittarius. So some of you may be quite like changeable. We also have somebody here who somebody's acting like or wanting to get out more or be more of a social butterfly. Okay. Interesting. Although I'm not feeling like the most massive social butterfly vibe from either of you two, I do feel like someone's wanting to push themselves. This person's wanting to push themselves to be more social with you. Okay, and this person like wanting to stay connected to you, wanting to collaborate with you, wanting to try to be flexible with you, okay? And I'm not getting like the hugest flexibility vibe from you guys. I feel like in the past you've been flexible, and all it, as Sheryl Crow would say, you know, you only bring me down. Whenever you come around, you're the one that like brings me down. Okay. So I feel like some of you have dealt with relationship partners like that in the past. And it's like, yeah, I don't really want to compromise anymore. Like, meet my standards or step off. So I get it. I like it, pile number 2. But I also feel like this person's like, well, what do you want me to like do or say, you know? And then we have the 8th house here and intimacy. So you know, we have scorpionic energy, death in the 8th house coming up here, and talking about the intensity between you two and that whirling motion between you two that I talked about, that Kundalini energy. Okay. And we also have stalking here on this card. It says stalking. So hopefully they're not like all out stalking you, but I more or less, I think they're trying to figure out like what it is that they did wrong or what it is that they said wrong, because I do feel like this person has intensity. They have a lot of like sexual obsession and sexual intensity towards you, okay? And you know, I feel like the chemistry between you two could be off the chain if this person wouldn't hold back so much, okay? And there is like this erotic energy here, but we have to be able, I feel like this person feels that they inherited things, problems from the past that you had in the past, and now you're like very short with them, or you're not as open or vulnerable with them because of that, okay? So this person may feel that that's not really fair, or that, you know, you shouldn't punish them for things that happened in your past, which, I mean, you know, people do that, pile number 2, and it's hard not to when we're like upset or angry. But I also just feel like it's, you guys started having some standards for how you want your life to go, and you know, you don't want to miss out on the passion, but you also don't want to deal with all the BS. So it's a very delicate balance. okay? And this person wanting, with Gemini in the 8th house, wanting to talk to you about intimacy, how you like to be touched, what turns you on, what feels good, how they can, you know, make you feel good. I feel like this person geeking out on this information, really wanting to talk about it. We have the horse spirit here. So this person realizing that, you know, you're like a beautiful free spirit, and thinking that, you know, maybe you don't want to be held down, or maybe you just want to be single, or maybe you're not really like in the mood for a relationship, okay? But, you know, it's like a game of capture the flag, pile number 2. But I also feel like the horse energy here is representing Earth. So in this deck anyway, this person wanting to understand you and wanting to understand like the look in your eye, or wanting to understand you just by observing you or looking at you, trying to pick up on what you're thinking or what you're feeling, pile number 2, okay? But then I feel like they pick up on it for a second, but then it just, they lose it, you know? This person may not be the best. They know what they want to feel and how they want to feel, but they may not be the best at emoting or hanging on to like the feeling that they get when they look at someone. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like they're curious about it, but they may be kind of like, I don't want to say like a anti-romance person, because I don't feel like that's it. I just think maybe sometimes they think things are going to be like simpler than they are with this sun energy. Like, you know, with the, like it's going to be simple, or things are going to be cut and dry, but you know, things are oftentimes not like that. We have family here. Okay. So some of you could have had a really tough situation with an ex, or with someone that you had children with, and then you ended up, you know, raising the kids yourself, or you ended up being a single mom or a single dad, or you ended up having to do a lot of things on your own. And some of you could have come from very challenging backgrounds as well, where your parents were fighting a lot, or you know, they were caught up in their own drama with each other, or your family was constantly having to move all the time, or things were always just in flux, or there was a lot of anger growing up around you in your household, okay? And I think you guys are just looking for like somebody who is, you know, somebody who's family oriented, somebody who has an interest in taking an interest in things long term with you, and not just wanting to get to know your body, but also wanting to get to know like what it is, what your goals are, what your dreams are, what your interests are. And I do think family is important for you, pile number 2, or having that sense of groundedness in your life. Okay. And some of you may want to have kids someday, so you're looking for, you know, the right partner or the perfect partner for you. And, you know, but there's some areas I feel, pile number 2, that this person kind of lacks in. And I do feel it's, you know, this person does need to show like more warmth and vulnerability and more action, I feel like. And that may cause you to melt a little bit more. Do you know what I'm saying? Or if they're like really good with your kids, or if they are really good with children or animals and things like that in general, then that could soften you as well, okay? But they can't just stay stuck in their little corner. They really are gonna have to branch out, I feel like, with the Wheel of Fortune, and like ask more questions. And I feel like they might want to with this horse Gemini energy, questions, talking, feeling things out, King of Pentacles, okay? We have Jupiter and abundance, okay? So having an abundance of, you know, warmth and stability and people around you that you love and they love you and you can count on them is of fundamental importance to you guys, because, you know, we all weather storms in life, and while we can, you know, do things on our own, it's a lot nicer when we have people to share that with. Okay. And I do think like a sense of abundance and achievement is also important to you guys too. I think the things that you want are like very doable, pile number 2. I don't think you're asking for too much, and I don't think that you holding the stance that you are is like asking too much, okay? But I do feel like we have to see some warmth here, or we have to see some like little, you know, cracks in the stone here to open up the energy and get everything flowing between you two. And I think once that happens, we can find a way towards those like feelings of warmth and happiness, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and, because as much as you maybe tell yourself like, I'm fine on my own, I'm good, I do think, you know, there's a part of you that is really wanting to feel that sense of support and belonging, okay? And that's normal, pile number 2. That's a very human thing to feel, okay? So I called you pile number 1, I mean pile number 2. Let's go ahead and get some initials for you, pile number 2, and then we'll take it to the 18 plus extended reading on my Vimeo channel, okay? And link will be in the description box below. So maybe sometimes it feels like you two are two fishes swimming in different directions. We have an X here, so I could be describing an ex that you've had, or multiple types of people that you've had that have kind of presented this pattern to you, where they like really geek out on you, wanting to know everything, and then it's like nothing is happening, which may be very angering, you know? But I also feel you guys are learning to be grateful for the good things in your life, because I do feel there's a lot here. We have an L, we have a Q, okay? LQ. Let's see what else here. Let's see what else here for pile number 2 for initials, please. What else here? We have an R. Okay, I feel like we haven't seen an R for a while. And we have an O, an O. Lori or L'Oreal or Lori could be a name like that, okay? Lore or Lori. We have a V. I kept wanting to say like maybe she's born with it, maybe it's Maybelline, and I feel like it's a good time to say that in your pile now. Pile number 2, we have RV, so maybe someone here really like LV, really loves RV, okay? RVs or traveling around and doing different stuff, or camping or nature. We have a Z here, okay? Z, Zorro. Zorro. Let's see what else, okay? I feel like sorry could be here too. Like this X is like a sorry ass, or, you know, they've been sorry in the past. Let's see what else here. Rose. Every rose has its thorn, doesn't it? Pile number 2. Just like every night has its dawn, and every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn. It looks like L-O-R-Z could be the beginning of the name Lorenzo. I've channeled that name before. L-O-V-E. We just need the E, and then we would have lover or love here, okay? So somebody wanting to be your love or your lover. If we had R-I-P, we would have rest in peace. We also could have rope, R-O-P-E, like somebody getting roped into things, or somebody who likes to be kind of like tied up. Okay, B-O-R, bore. Somebody's acting like a real bore. We have Rob or Robert here too. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. PR, this person kind of really needing to fix their image with you. We also have Bo, or the name Bo here. We have a W. Okay. LV could be Las Vegas. We have you, boo, you up, okay? This person asking if you're up or you can talk. Yeah. Okay, you know, if somebody's just sitting there like a bump on the log, what are you supposed to do? Pile number 2, it's hard to know, right? And then, I mean, you could ask for clarification, but we have pour here, P-O-U-R, like to pour a drink or something. We also have the word pour, like P-O-O-R. Some of you could have started from dire circumstances in your life and built yourself up monetarily here to be where you are, all right? And let's get OB, obituary, okay? I once saw a meme that showed like the Grim Reaper that said, I put the bitch in obituary. Anyway, I thought that was so funny. And all right. I think it's so funny. UPP, you down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Pile number 2. Do you guys remember that song? Okay. What's up? I feel like this person is like, what up? All right. If somebody talks to you like that or says, are you up? What's up? Okay, this person's coming through. Let's see what else here for pile number 2. Okay, we have N, getting like roped into something, been there, done that. No, okay, some of you could be like, no. We have a Y, obey, right? We're just missing the E, but we have obey. We also have NY, or University of New York, or UNY, okay? UNLV, University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Those things are here too. Robbie or Rob is here, okay? We also have pony, giddy up, right? Pile number 2, we have pony. And obey, all right? We have an H here, an H, hun, H-U-N, hun or honey. Okay, you're a honey, all right? You are a honey. You're the 9 of Pentacles, pile number 2. Abundance is dripping off you, you know, like with just who you are. So this person's saying you're a honey and they'll obey your rules, okay? They just need to know what they are, all right? You guys are like, I've told them before, you know? But anyway, we have an I, hi, okay? So this person's saying hi. I also feel like baby could be here too, like somebody has a baby. We have hi and bye here. We also have boy. So somebody's acting immature, or maybe someone here does have a son or has a small child or a boy here. And yeah, interesting. I think there's probably a lot more letters here. I'm also seeing Zurich. Okay, somebody here could resonate with that city. Isn't Zurich, isn't that Switzerland? Maybe somebody knows someone from there. Hint, like somebody taking the hint. Okay, are you up is here, and I obey. You obey. Anyway, pile number 2. That is what I am getting for you, my dears, my honeys, and pile number 2. So if that reading resonated with you, I'd love to hear your comments or feedback. And if you'd like to get a little bit more, we'll take it to the 18+ extended reading. And you can find the link to my Vimeo channel below. Thank you so much, pile number 2. If you can do me the favor of liking the video if that resonated for you, or leaving a comment. I do read all the comments. Thank you so much, pile number 2. Take care. Let's move on to pile number 3. Okay. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the eggplant, and today's reading is called Who is Totally Geeking Out Over You? Now, this could be a friend, a lover, a person at work. It could be multiple people, pile number 3. So we're just going to jump in and find out who is totally geeking out over my pile number 3s, okay? And stick around till the end of the reading because we will be doing initials to verify your reading, pile number 3. And for those of you that would like to continue on to the 18+ extended reading, there'll be a link to my Vimeo channel below, okay? So we're gonna find out today for my pile number 3s, who is geeking out over my beautiful pile number 3s. Pile number 3, it's like a roller coaster. Roller coaster of love, pile number 3. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. Sometimes love is like, you know, sometimes love is wild and it's like headbanging at a metal show all night long, and sometimes it's sweet and beautiful like a Celine Dion concert. I don't know why pile number 3 is, Spirit gave me those references, but there you go. Sitting front row at a Celine Dion concert. But anyway, isn't she from Canada? I think she's from Canada, but she has that song like The Power of Love. I just remember because I grew up in the 90s, pile number 3. Some of you may have had a parent that listened to that a lot too, but let's go ahead and get into it for my pile number 3s, my cute little bunnies in pile number 3. Who is totally geeking out here? Ooh, okay. We want this one. The World card. Oh my God. Who isn't geeking out over pile number 3? Everyone, basically, okay? And I feel like with the Knight of Cups on the bottom of the deck, some of you could have a Scorpio from your past or a water sign from your past that you're trying to forget, or you're hoping that they're going to pop up in this reading with something to say. But I also feel like some of you are saying that rather than worrying about what other people are doing or how they're feeling about you, the most important thing right now is for you to take care of yourself emotionally, okay? So I feel like that is also a message for you here, pile number 3, to take care of yourself emotionally. It's 223 in your reading right now, so some of you may like that number or resonate with that, but maybe you would prefer 222 instead. But look at this. We have water sign galore on the bottom of the deck here. We have the King of Cups and the Knight of Cups. The King of Cups representing Pisces, and then we have Scorpio, okay? And then we have the Empress here. So, you know, some of you have had like major love situations before, or you've had major partnerships before. Some of you could have been married and divorced with the Justice card, or engaged to someone, okay, and have had people really geek out on you or really want to be with you in the past. But lately, I feel like some of you are focusing on your spiritual journey here with the Hierophant, and focusing on like you're learning and disciplining your mind and taking, you know, whatever happened in the past here with the Tower and turning it into that creative gold with the Queen of Wands, okay? And I can see with the Queen of Cups and Death that you have faced like emotional annihilation. You have faced the dissolution of, you know, things that you were very obsessed about, or things that you really wanted, or things that you had your heart set on. Some of you, it could have been with a Scorpio, where somebody really hurt you here with the 5 of Swords and really tore your heart out with the 3 of Swords, okay? And starting on a new beginning is like still making you nervous, okay? And we just have to be careful that we don't go super fast with the Knight of Swords and run into, you know, the same like egotistical assholes, okay? So pile number 3, there's a whole story that happened on the bottom of the deck there that is in the past, that you've already lived out, that is over for you now with the World card, that is done, that is complete. That chapter has been closed, and some of you may wonder, like, am I ever going to find like a love like that? Am I ever going to find that again, even though the situation didn't work out or it wasn't the best for you at the end of the day? Like, you know, you wonder, some of you may have been like, I'm done, you know, with connections for a while. I'm going to focus on me, okay? And maybe that's what's needed, all right? Because I do feel like there's kind of a barrier up around you right now, pile number 3, where you have been working on some major life lessons for your evolution. And so, you know, there may be this kind of like wistful draw to some of the times that you fell in love, like before things got shitty, or just before situations broke you apart from someone, okay? But like, I also feel you may look at that, but you're also not going back to it, because I do feel like there's a boundary up as much as you would have cared about a person, okay? So I am getting that energy. We're going to find out who is totally geeking out over you anyway. Pile number 3, okay? We have here the 5 of Wands. Well, we have a couple people on the bottom of the deck, okay? So, you know, long lost lovers from the past, or people that if they knew about each other would probably be fighting over you, okay? But, ooh, the 5 of Swords. Ay, ay, ay. I can see why you guys are like, I don't need all that drama, Natalie. I don't need it. I don't care. Like, as much as I love, I'm not going to get, you know, my head ripped off by the dragon again. We have the Chariot here. Okay. So somebody that is somebody's totally geeking out over you because I feel like they're like, I've tried everything, you know, I just can't get it right, but I'm still hoping that pile number 3 will come back to me, or I'm still hoping that even though I've fallen flat on my face with pile number 3 multiple times, okay, or even though I haven't, you know, done the best in the past here, I still would like to move something forward with the Chariot. Okay, and there could be 2 people. I'm definitely getting that water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Somebody could have that in their chart. You know, as much time has passed, this person wondering like if you've moved on, or if you're like over something or not, is also what I'm feeling here. Pile number 3. And some of you could be pissed off because you're like, well, I didn't come here to talk about my past, Natalie. You know, I get it, pile number 3. We'll see where the reading is going. But I also just feel like if somebody is geeking out about you because they want to know what they can say or do at any cost in order to land you or get you or take you for theirs, you are not interested. Okay, because it has to be more, what's the word? It has to be more authentic and organic than trying to force something into existence. And I think, you know, that very practical side of you is really put you in a position where you're not willing to entertain things that throw you off balance and make you question your path in life anymore. Okay, I feel like your energy is closed off to that. Okay, and I can see why you want to get out of that, or why you're not into that. All right, I do think that there's somebody in your environment that could have gone through similar things, or could have had similar, like really bad situations in relationships, and they are moving forward with their life, and they are searching for someone like pile number 3. Okay, but I feel they also get tired, and they also get agitated, and they also get conflicted sometimes about what it is that they want to, because I feel some of them have also been drugged through the mud as well. Okay, the proverbial mud, pile number 3. And I am feeling like Cancer, Capricorn energy here too, with the World card and the Chariot. The World is associated with Saturn, so it's giving me that Capricornian feel, along with the Chariot, which is Cancer, okay? And I do feel like there's someone that feels like they've fought for you, they've cried for you, they've defended you, they've never wanted to give up, even though times were shit, they didn't want to give up. And so they're wondering like why you will no longer like, you know, why you will no longer like even recognize them, or why you will no longer even like, you know, allow them near you anymore. Okay. And the thing is, pile number 3 is, I don't know how much self-awareness this person has, because, you know, part of the reason why some of you may have been isolating yourselves or kind of shut down from things recently is because of some of this really nasty behavior that people have been pushing on you, you know? And that's why I feel like you guys are like, I don't even want anyone to geek out on me. If you're not going to be a good person, then just leave me alone, okay? So I am getting that type of energy, okay? But I do feel there is someone, if you haven't met them yet, pile number 3, maybe you haven't met them yet, maybe some of you have. I do feel like there's somebody here who's been through a lot themselves, who's been through the ringer, has, you know, sometimes been the bad guy, sometimes been the good guy or good girl or bad girl in situations. But I feel like this person is comfortable, like, you know, they've worked on integrating their shadow. They know that they're not all good. They know that they're not all bad. They know that they want to move on from the past of things they've experienced before and meet someone like pile number 3, somebody who's more like mature and grounded in what they see for themselves, okay? So, and I do feel like somebody is, okay, also somebody could be geeking out about their car or about their house or about a particular move as well too. And, you know, like sometimes when we're making a major purchase, you know, leasing something or renting something or buying something, you know, everybody wants a piece of the freaking pie. You know what I mean? And I feel like you guys are being very reserved here, pile number 3. But some of you could have like salespeople that are trying to influence you or push you in a certain direction and want your business and are trying to geek out and find out what you want or you need or what it is that motivates you. But I also feel some of you are just, the thing is you don't like cheeky assholes trying to sell you things that you don't need. So, you know, whoever is geeking out on you isn't going to be able to get your attention by taking low blows and undershots under the table to kind of motivate you to do something, okay? And, you know, I feel like a lot of people trying to figure out like what makes you tick, pile number 3, or what makes you be who you are, and trying to get through, you know, trying to kind of get through to you, or then getting mad and not being able to do it, or people trying to like sell you bullshit things. Okay, maybe some of you have had that experience recently where people like, you need to make a major purchase or you need to do something that's big that involves a commitment of resources here with the World card, and everybody wants a piece of the pie. Everyone's trying to figure out what you want and what your motivations are, okay? And maybe some of you are actually needing to geek out on yourself and find out what your motivations are for the future and like what patterns you're not willing to repeat anymore, right? And I feel like sometimes, I feel like you guys almost need to geek out on yourselves and find out what is going on within you so that you can, if you've been in a slump or you felt stuck or that you can't move or that you're in limbo, I feel like pile number 3, this is the key to getting you out of that limbo and to kind of get things moving again. But let's go ahead and see what else here. We have the 8 of Wands, but it came out reversed, and I don't really like read reversals, but I mean, I do, and I have, but you know, I'm not going to get into a whole thing about that pile number 3, but what I'm saying is it came out reversed, and normally my cards are not shuffled in a way that reverses them. So that's very interesting to me, seeing that there's just things that are stuck, the things that are not really moving forward, and things that are trying to get off the ground, but are just like not exciting you because it just seems like kind of the same old shit, you know? We have the 7 of Pentacles here. So, you know, shit's getting boring, I feel like, pile number 3, but at the same time, you don't really want to be in the position that you were before, okay? And it's so funny because this, with the water there and the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles, the feeling I'm getting is like there's a song called It's Getting Boring by the Sea, okay? So I don't know, like maybe you guys were coming from a place where you were very bored or very unsatisfied and you weren't really happy in a connection, but you didn't really know like how to get yourself organized to move forward, okay? And I think all of that is changing and all of that is falling away from you now with this world card pile number 3. Like you're looking at your options, you're looking at what's in front of you, but I also feel like some of you are still having like a wistful eye towards a couple people from your past who maybe really did geek out on you before with the Chariot, really did try to drive things home with you or really try to make things happen with you. But the problem is that one of them just like caused more inner chaos within you and caused everything in your life to stall out, okay? And the other one was just boring, and maybe people were like acting out here with the 5 of Swords in order to get out of some stagnation, okay? So either way, just not great. We have the Ace of Swords here and the Chariot, okay? So somebody here really fantasizing about you, I feel, pile number 3, okay? And this could be a person, you know, for some of you, I do feel like 2 exes are coming through, or 2 water signs or 2 people that you've dealt with are coming through here. I do feel that, okay? And both of them sucked for different reasons, although they could have totally geeked out on you, you know, like wanting to know everything about you or wanting to, you know, but things fell to shit, okay? However, here with this Ace of Swords and Chariot, I do feel like there's more momentum building up in front of you, pile number 3, for the future. If you'll just turn your gaze to the future and bravely march forward and strike up some new conversations with other people, I do think you're going to find them like very motivating and encouraging and fun. Okay, so I do think like driving things forward, opening up to communication, taking the reins on things, on what it is that you want. Because I feel like some of you also have some like, you know, like some of you may not have been very happy with your sex life with some people long term. I do feel like with this Ace of Swords and Chariot, there's some, you know, like kinky things you'd like to try, or there's some interesting things that you might like want to learn about, or you may want to discover. But I also feel like you discovering more about yourself and what it is that you need going forward into the future, okay? I do feel like there's someone here with this Ace of Swords and Chariot who's wanting to separate from these people from the past, who is wanting to understand you or wanting to open up a conversation with you. They may be a little bit like unsure of how to, you know, approach, but I feel like they will, pile number 3, and maybe they already have. But it's like, let's get a conversation going. Let's get a conversation started. And let's get curious with the Ace of Swords. And let's let our minds run free. You know, let's stay open to all the possibilities. And let's stay, you know, strong and determined during times, even times of struggle, okay? But I also feel like you guys, some people are geeking out on you too, because you guys have really great ideas as well too. Like in the workplace, I do feel like there's massive clusterfucks around you, or people that just don't know what they're doing with the 5 of Wands. And then with the 5 of Swords, like some people upset because, you know, your point is getting picked up on, or upset because they, you know, they feel stuck, or just getting upset and agitated about things because they're not moving forward for them, but they are for you. So I do think there's some work energy here too, okay? But again, you're the one with the master plan here, pile number 3, okay? With the Chariot and the Ace of Swords, and you're the one that's gonna see it through. So I do feel like there's going to be some people at work that are going to like your ideas, or there's going to be some things with your hobbies or your work or your interests that are going to be very intriguing that people are going to pick up on and geek out on. We have love. Interesting. Okay. Pile number 3, feeling pretty closed off here with the 5 of Wands, not wanting to participate in the shit fest, but someone's still having feelings for you and loving you anyway. We have ideation, somebody thinking about the past with you and how they should have appreciated you when they had you, okay? And I also feel like this person from the past idealizing a new beginning with you, or idealizing the situation that you two had, but I feel like you guys know how bad it really was. That's why you're shut off to it, okay? And for some of you, this could be a person that you're currently dealing with now. We have heart on lock, okay? So there's a key there, but it's locked and no one's using the key. There's multiple keys and no one really knows what key to use. You know, and that's a real 5 of Wands problem. You know, like there's a solution, but no one can see it, no one can find it, where we think love is going to conquer all, and we put things on a pedestal and decide to move forward on something, and then run into a stop sign with this heart on lock, okay? So this person really trying to understand, like, what feeds you, what makes you tick, what excites you in conversations, what turns you on, all of this. But I also just feel like you guys are kind of like not willing to share your heart with these people anymore. Like you're just like, yeah, there may be things about it that I look back on, but I'm not really like open at this point, okay? And I also feel there could be someone around you who's wanting to explore a conversation with you and is going back and forth because of the bad shit that they've had happen in their past. They may not be able to be the most vulnerable right now, pile number 3, but they're still trying to push something here. We have Virgo. Okay, so there could be a Virgo who's totally geeking out on you, who's very methodical and discerning. Some of you could very critical as well too, very solitary. I feel like some of you could also have Virgo in your chart as well, because the world energy to me is like very solitary too. It represents Saturn, so it does have to do with being pretty solitary, all right? But geeking out on health and nutrition and fitness, and some of you may be very like sharp in certain areas, like with health or fitness or nutrition, or like naturopaths or things like that, okay? Or potions, or, you know, witchy things, okay? I do feel like there are people that want to geek out on you when it has to do like with what you know and your knowledge, okay? Or want you to show them something or teach them something. Yeah, we have Saturn and wisdom. Okay, so people really geeking out on like your wisdom and how much you know and how much you are able to show like realism, self-control, how much, you know, you're able to contain yourself and find your center of gravity after challenging situations. Pile number 3, okay? So somebody really geeking out about your wisdom and also about like your technical training or your technical abilities, or the very methodical way you go about things. We have hyena. Yeah, this hyena energy, this heart on lock, it's like, I am not going to, this is that I feel like you guys are not going to let anybody into your energy that you perceive as being threatening in any way, shape, or form, or remind you of anyone from your past, okay? People who tried to dominate you or control you in some type of way, no way, okay? And I think you're geeking out on the amount of wisdom, training, and learning that you've been able to embrace, and you're seeing these people from your past as total losers with nothing to offer, okay? And I feel like some of these people didn't even have the best hygiene, or they didn't, I don't know, like I just feel you guys are very, you know, clean and disciplined in what you do, okay? And these people are just coming off as gross, okay? And maybe some people geeking out on your skin routine, or on what you eat, or how to detox their bodies, okay? And maybe some of you have also been geeking out on that. We have friendship here, okay? So you do have friends around you pile number 3, or you will, like people that are geeking out on like how you've been able to move on, what you've learned from things, the wisdom you've picked up, the way you've been able to transform your life with alchemy, maybe even like spiritual disciplines and things that you do too, okay? So I do feel like there's friends or potential friendships around you that could be geeking out on pile number 3, on what you do and what you can teach and how you can help them. So that's very nice. And then we have Mercury retrograde and reinvention here, okay? So I feel like no matter what happens, you guys are like Madonna. You have like 9 lives and you have, 20 different tours, 800 different tours you can go on. You're going to change your hair every time. You know what I mean? You constantly reinvent yourself, pile number 3. And the way that you're able to come back after like feeling like pretty scummy or feeling pretty shitty or feeling pretty down, I feel like other people are very much like geeking out on how you are able to do that, okay? And also I feel like some of you can express yourself in like a very sharp and witty manner, okay? And people geeking out on that, all right? And also how like you're a cat with 9 lives and how you just keep reinventing yourself and you keep pushing forward, all right, regardless of what happens. So let's go ahead, pile number 3, and get some initials for you. And then we're going to go ahead and take it to your extended reading. Also, I think an X is here too, who's geeking out about your reinvention, your wisdom, how you've cleaned up, especially for those of you who struggled with addiction in the past, or you struggled with maintaining a sense of, health or boundaries with your physical body, or just any type of addiction in general. And those of you who've gotten clean, or those of you, no judgment either way, pile number 3. I'm just saying some people are geeking out on you because your life has changed and your journey is moving forward with the Chariot here. And maybe you're not feeling the most vulnerable right now with this heart on lock because you've been with some real flea bags in the past, okay? But, people really wanting to celebrate you with this friendship card and like how much you've changed and how much you've grown, which is excellent, pile number 3. So let's go ahead and get some initials here. And for my pile number 3s, let's get initials, okay? We have a U. Yes, you are geeking out on yourself, pile number 3, more than anything. And that's really great. I just dropped a letter here, so it's an R. You are. Okay, so I'm glad I picked that up. We have an I, Yuri. Okay, so there could be someone with the name Yuri. You are I. You are I. Like, it's like you or I or you, okay? You're just geeking out on yourself and all we have. Okay. Jur, as in jury. I jury. Like, I judge myself, or I'm the judge and jury of myself. No one else, okay? Injury, I also feel is here. Some of you could have had a physical injury, and so you're geeking out on a bunch of health information as well. Or maybe some of you help others who are injured too and help them come up with stuff, okay? There's an L, okay? Lure, like feeling lured into something. I feel like that's, like lured back into something. That's not what you want, okay? Yeah, ruled. I ruled. Yeah, with the World card. Like some of you just could have experienced a major accomplishment when it has to do with something you learned. And you're like, yeah, I ruled, or I kicked ass at that, okay? And there could have been like a celebration for you and people geeking out about that too as well. Very nice, pile number 3, okay? Like you guys did something really well, or you pulled something off. And, we have RUD or rude. And you are rude. Okay, so maybe some of you are wondering, like, was I rude to someone? No, because you rejected them, hard on lock. They were trying to get to know you and you were like, no fucking way. All right, maybe somebody told you that you're rude or something, but whatever, you know. You follow your intuition, pile number 3. You do what you need to do. We have ill. So somebody here could have been injured or ill and is now geeking out on that, okay? Wired or weird here, okay? You're wired or something like that. You could just be wired differently, pile number 3, and that's fine. DWI is here too, and we have the Chariot. Okay, so some of you could have had a bad experience with that, and I was talking about addiction earlier, or somebody geeking out like on things from the past that happened and like moving forward. Okay. And we also have our rid. I also feel like you're rid of this person now, pile number 3, so you don't have to worry anymore. And your ride is also your car. So maybe some of you are needing to like get a new car and you're like, oh God, now I have to deal with all this salesman crap, you know? And yeah. Dire, okay, like some dire circumstances that you guys have come through here. We have a Z, and I feel like you're weird is here too. Like some people saying, because you like to geek out on a lot of things, that you're weird. And it's like, well, whatever, you know, to each their own, pile number 3. If you want to geek out on something, then geek out on it. It's up to you, you know, you don't have to. Maybe it says you're wired here, so maybe some of you guys drink a lot of coffee or something, and then you get super wired, or and then you start talking real fast or geeking out on something, okay? URL is like a internet, like, you know, typing out an internet address. Maybe some of you have worked in computers, or you're setting up a website, and you're totally geeking out on some projects right now. Okay, and some of you could have people around you that also want to learn what you're learning and are geeking out with you, which is cool. We have an N here, okay, the letter N. We're missing the E, but we would have nude, okay? So, you know, somebody could, with the world, she is pretty much nude on the cards, so somebody here could be geeking out about that, but I also feel like you guys aren't really showing anyone anything either. You guys are like, no, you know, but yeah, nerd, N-U-R-D. Sometimes people spell nerd that way. You guys are like, yeah, I'm a total nerd anyway, Natalie. Okay, we have Rudy. Rudy is here, like Rudy Huxtable, okay? And Rudy. And yeah, DIY, do-it-yourself projects. And maybe you guys like to geek out on that, or someone here that likes you likes to do that too. We have an A, day. Dana, I feel like, is here too. Dana. And Diana, or Diane, is here too. And yay or nay, right? Yay or nay. Some of you may say yay or nay, like if you want to do something or not. We also have way. So someone wanting you to kind of like show them the way on something, or bless them with your wisdom, or let them know like what's going on and how to move forward. That's very cool, pile number 3. I like that a lot for you. And yada, 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 pile number 3. Let's see what else. We have, oh, none of ya business, right? If people are geeking out over you, you guys are like, none of your business. Leave me alone. Although I feel like you guys are a way shower, okay? And giving people some interesting ideas about things and how to proceed, okay? And we have dad, D-A-D here. So some of you could have fathers that are geeking out on you, or they used to geek out, or they used to ask you a lot of questions. We have yarn here, so somebody could be into crocheting or needling or that type of thing. and geeking out with friends about things that you made or things that you did here with this friendship card, which that's really nice, pile number 3, if you've got that going on. Yay, okay. Yay. I also feel like riddle could be here too, like a riddle, you know, which is interesting. Maybe you guys like riddles, or you like solving things, or just geeky, nerdy stuff, okay? We have GAY here, so somebody in this pile could be gay or could identify as LGBTQ. We also have WAG here. Some of you could really love dogs or really super be into puppies. We have dang. Dang, Rudy, D-A-N-G, okay, dang. Some of you could say dang, and you're like, yeah, I know, I'm nerdy. Pile number 3, and we have gang here, like the whole gang getting together with this friendship card or getting to spend some time. We have wag, and then we have dog. So some of you may really geek out on dogs as well, or you really may love the different types of dogs, okay? Not so much on the hyenas. They can, you know, take a number. We also have dog, D-A-W-G, like dog. You're a dog, okay? Anyway, that's funny. J-Dog is here. But anyway, let's see what else. Let's see what else. Rag, R-A-G, okay? Someone's on the rag maybe, or, you know, that type of thing. Pile number 3, that's never fun. That'll make someone want to stay home. Yeah, interesting letters. Pile number 3. Okay, and we have not gonna lie here, NGL. So I feel like you guys don't really like lying to people. Like you like to tell people the truth with this Saturn card and wisdom. Okay, so that is what I am getting for you, pile number 3. I'm sure there's a lot more stuff in here, but I'm going to go ahead and stop there. And we are going to go ahead and take it to your extended reading next, and we will be getting 18 plus in your extended reading. Thank you so much, pile number 3, and thank you to everyone that came to their reading today. Take care, my friends.